What's up everyone? Welcome back to Golf Simulator Videos. We're back today with the Flightscope MEVO Gen 2 with a huge announcement. As I kind of suspected, what it looks like is happening over at Flightscope is that the MEVO Plus will probably be sunsetting permanently into the future because they're bringing Pro Package and Face Impact Location to the MEVO Gen 2. This is a huge announcement. It's really important for a lot of users that I talk to that are looking for certain data parameters like low point. Well, that is huge that you can get that from a unit that is coming in at a great price point. Speaking of price points, as always, make sure you check out the link in the description code and pin to the top of the comments. It helps support the channel, but also gets you the lowest price using my discount code. So make sure you check those out. What are we going to show today? Well, I've got my iPad Pro connected to the FS Golf app, and that's I use an HDMI dongle that's connected to my projector, and we're going to show you guys everything in action. I've just done a little bit of testing so far now that this is released, and I'm very impressed. Now, I suspected in the beginning when I saw that camera that was up higher on the Gen 2, and if you haven't seen that unboxing and first look video, make sure you check it out. It just gives it a better view, I think, of the club and the golf ball. So I suspected from the beginning that we were gonna see all of the club data with Pro Package and Face Impact, but I could see what they're doing there. They're going through a transition, making sure all the data's right. But you know, a unit like this coming in at a price point where you can get things like low point for instructing, I think is just really important. I talked to a lot of instructors. They use this unit like outdoor primarily, which is doing that longer tracking versus, you know, shorter indoor. And they really love the data they can get from this unit. I mean, it has the capability to connect cameras. If you haven't seen my videos on that using iPhone, even check out the AR tracing technology. I did a video on that as well. Lots of videos on Flightscope units, but let's just go ahead and start off. I have us out at the range. I'll actually open up in the upper right. You'll see I got my Flightscope MEVO Gen 2 connected. You can see my tilt is basically like right at 12 degrees, roll just a tiny bit off at 0.3. I'm fine with all of that stuff. All right. Now, you'll see I also have Face Impact showing in the lower right. And then I have club path, face to path, and low point, which I think are all cool, you know, data parameters that we're going to be taking a look at today as we hit some shots. So first thing first, what do I want to do? Well, I'm just going to kind of hit like a normal 8-iron down there for you guys. That way you can see everything. Push that just a little bit, but it's okay. Not too bad, right? 150 normal carry. And you can see my impact location down there as well. Club path was a little bit to the right, face to path, pretty square overall. So just kind of like a straight push is what I would call that shot. Now, let's say that you feel like face impact's a little bit off. Well, it's important to understand that no club is really created the same. So what do? Well, you take some good old-fashioned foot spray. All right, doesn't hurt your screen or anything, and you just spray it on the face, all right? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna open up on the iPad. Right here, we're going to go to the club analysis, and then we're gonna, up here in the upper right, go to Face Impact. Now, let's go ahead and hit one more shot for you. Now, I hit that nice and square in the face, and then I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna make sure, does that match what you're seeing on the iPad? All right, now here's the thing. It didn't at first. So these Titleist T150s, I feel like are a little bit different from my Callaways, and the ball was just a little bit low on every shot. So what did I do? I did the exact test that you just saw. In the upper left, I hit Calibrate, I hit Understand, and then I just adjusted that and saved it, okay? And that, I mean, talk about a pretty good strike. I mean, I was 0.03 and 0.07 off, and you can see how close that was when we actually hit the shot. So we'll go back to trajectory view. There's that shot. You can see I was coming just a little bit inside still. I just needed to close that face maybe just a tad. But all I have to do at that point in time, after I make any adjustments, if necessary, you're going to find that some people won't have to make adjustments at all, depending on the club. You're just going to go ahead and just take a towel like that, rub off that foot spray, and you're good to go. So what would I like to do now? Well, I would like to kind of hit like a fade for you guys. Just want to do a little bit of shot shaping just so you can see the performance of the path, relevance to the shot, result that you're seeing as well. So let's go ahead and try to hit a little bit of a fade down there. Get that club working left. A little heavy, but I think you're going to see a good little cut out of that. Just a little heavy. You can see the ball jumps up on the face. See that? See how the ball gets a little bit higher on the face when you hit it just a little bit heavy? Of course, it's going to go a little bit shorter, and my spin's not going to be, quite as good. But you can see I'm working my path really left to get that done. And then my face to path was just a little bit less of that at 4.3 coming in right. Well, that's 2 in a row. Well, that's interesting. So that one, I think because I hit it so heavy, you're actually seeing that it missed impact. Now, why would it do that? Well, a lot of things can happen there. That was a pretty heavy shot. So in that case, it's tracking the ball. It just wasn't able to pick up club data. So what would you want to do if you're missing club data at all? Now, I am not running an additional spotlight like you've seen me do in the past because I find this lighting sufficient enough, I should say. If you go over and open up in the menu, you can actually go to Setup Verification, and you're going to want to hit a shot. So you can see it's ready and we're good to go. So let's go ahead and just hit a little shot down there. Not even a full one, like that. And you can see my lighting is good. Now, even though you might have sufficient lighting, if you catch that it's missing any impact or club data, you may need some additional lighting. So just check on that. So every once in a while, you could run into that. It's very rare that I do. You can see I got impact, I got club data, everything on that shot. I personally think that was kind of a bad shot. So I think it was, a combination of things. So I'm going to try to hit my cut again. And let's see how this works out. Oh, that was pretty nice. That should be a nice little high cut down there. Not too much to it. Look at that impact. Really what I like to see. I get the higher spin out of it. Look at the club path to face to path. Really nice. Really nice. Now let's hit a draw. Yeah, I would have to say that, obviously that was a bad shot. I don't know if I've had one miss yet with MEVO Gen 2. So I'm gonna mess with lighting and everything and make sure that it's sufficient enough on enough shots. Because I thought the most exciting part was that I was gonna share with you guys, and it was gonna kind of be a little hidden secret, is that, have you noticed anything? Well, the lack of lighting. All I'm running is my normal lighting. Before I had a huge spotlight from basically lighting up from the MEVO to in front of the ball, and I actually did a lux meter reading for everybody to show how much light I was using to get that constant impact every single time. I'm in a very dark environment. So lack of light, even though it says good on most shots, doesn't mean it's enough light on every shot. Hope that makes sense. But we want to put it to the test. I mean, if it's going to miss one in this darker environment, then I need to add more light. All right, let's hit a little draw down there. A little thin, but I think it's going to come around. Yeah, not too thin, just a little thin. A little bit less spin, but I get some very good distance when I hit a big draw like that. And then let's hit one more cut for you. I just wish I would close the face maybe a little bit more on those cuts because I'd like it to start further left, then work right. But I mean, I take off the distance, I get the spin, you can see the club path working nice and left. I mean, it's really everything I look for on a little cut like that, so no complaints. And as you can see, I'm getting my impact every single time. That was actually a pretty nice shot. Pretty nice shot overall. Now I'm just gonna kind of go for what would be a normal shot for me, not trying to go, far out to in or far into out. Nah, that one is pretty bad miss, honestly. I mean, I got from the inside, and I mean, you can see it was towards the heel. It was pretty bad shot. All right, let's focus a little better here. That was better. pushed it a little bit still. You can see I'm just kind of getting a little heel bound when I'm squaring that path up. So I need to be careful. Need to be careful. That was better. Not too bad. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to, you know, demonstrate to you guys that that club path is square. So you watched me work it left, you watched me come into out, and now what I'm trying to do is trying to demonstrate the most square club path that I can. Not an easy thing to do, really. Especially if you're someone that, you know, hits a normal draw, hits a normal cut. Like that is a very normal shot for me, just a little bit from the inside. You know, I caught it maybe just a little thin, but overall, it's a 154 carry on an 8-iron. I mean, it's pretty good. And what I liked too is I had a couple pretty bad misses there trying to adjust my swing. You know, heel-bound shots. I got to verify that, make a little bit of an adjustment, and then what do we got? Well, we've got everything, you know, all the data and everything that I can, you know, review. And I can also come in here, I can go to Trajectory Optimizer, and this is where it gets pretty cool once you have that face impact. A lot of people don't know that this is actually available inside of here. They just haven't used it enough, but I'm gonna select 8-iron, and you are going to get a heat map of all of your shots. So you can see my smash factor is on the, you know, lower optimal side. You can see my vertical launch is actually solid. And then you can see my spin. I'm a low spinner of the golf ball. I mean, it's something you'll see I work on and I get it back and then I lose it. Demonstrating these type of shots, I mean, it's kind of tough for me to, I probably average 7 to 7,500 with an 8-iron, and you can see that I was averaging 63.91, so just not ideal. But I really like knowing that I'm a little towards the heel overall on these shots. I need to get a little more. I mean, I love that I was hitting quite a few square ones, and you can see that's where the red was. But it's really nice data just to kind of see where I am overall. You know, what is my average at? And then of course there's other factors in here like the club analysis you can use when you go to 3D. You actually have that, you know, vertical plane, horizontal plane, path, face to path. You can get your 2D, which is a very simple representation of your face to target, or you could go face to path, or you could go dynamic loft, and you can even go spin axis, all right, tilt of the golf ball. So all kinds of different data now that the, you know, Pro package is actually unlocked for this device. You can even go to the charts where it shows you your speed and your distance relevance. And then I like to just kind of stick on the dashboard and then work back and forth. You can always say, hey, you know, how is the, you know, perspective of the golf ball? What does my, you know, peak height look like? All right. And what's my descent angle? You can see all of that. And you can even look at all of your shots if you want, and then also grouping. So am I pulling the golf ball overall, pushing? You can see I was kind of pushing it overall. All right, and then you can go back to down the line. You can turn off all shots if you want, or leave that on. And you can even go to Environmental Optimizer, and you can say, well, how much is, you know, the wind going to affect a golf ball? I can put a wind in my face, to my back, to the side, and really work on things like that with Environmental Optimizer. I mean, this app that you can take out to the range, the amount of data you're going to get and things that you can work on, whether you're your average golfer or you're an instructor, I just think it's fantastic. And I'm glad that we hit some bad shots. I think that's necessary. You know, I think that you need that. You got your Badger AI that, you know, I don't talk about enough. That's something that, you know, you should use. I'll kind of give you guys a little demonstration of that really quick, actually. So I'll take off my glove and let's go ahead and, I don't know if I have it activated or not. Do not show, learn more. Yeah, that's the only problem. I don't know if I have that activated inside of here yet. Yeah, so we're gonna have to see if we can get that activated inside of the app to show you guys, because basically what you can do with Badger AI is I could say, how do I spin my irons more? And it's going to dig through all of its data. They've fed it and other people have fed it, and you know, learn from you as well. and it's going to say, hey, to get more spin on an iron, you know, based on your data or based on overall data, you know, generally cutting the golf ball more with hitting lower on the face is going to generate more spin of the golf ball. They could talk about angle of attack, a million things. I'm just giving you an example. But it's going to, you know, deep dive there, and you're going to be able to, you know, ask it questions, and it's going to give you answers. So I really hope that this is a good overview. It's a first look at the Pro package and the face impact location that they're bringing to the Flightscope MEVO Gen 2. And I promise you guys, we'll have a lot more to cover with this unit. Let me know what you want to see, comment down below, and stay tuned. There'll be a lot more coming soon.